The only reason Mindy Kaling's Velma on HBO Max is memorable is because it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. The Scooby-Doo spinoff minus Scooby isn't revolutionary, it's just therapy for Kaling's big girl daddy issues inside a humorless horror show. See, for comedy to work, it has to stretch reality. The audience has to believe the characters are real or they're not going to laugh, because truth is funny. Fake is not. But Velma also proves that woke isn't always about politics. Sometimes it's mere camouflage for talentless hacks.
That is one big pile of shit.
Woke is Hollywood's futile crusade to jam a square peg into a round hole. What's going on, everybody? I hope all of you are having a glorious day, my friends. Velma as a series has no audience, no hidden meaning, just the pure message of the pronoun police and the self-inserts from Mindy Kaling's incestuous relationship with her alternate identities. See, it's a shotgun blast of mean girl lectures, race swapping, forced diversity, and games of pin the tail on the white boy man baby. That's it, all voiced by a lazy crew of casting couch sornines phoning in their progressive one-liners from Girl Boss Twitter. For 55 years, Hanna-Barbera has dominated television. You're talking they've done about 170 projects, web shows, animated films, big-time movies to cartoons, everything. Their success was based on a simple formula. You're going to take a leader, a damsel in distress, the teen nerd, the stoner, and his pooch, and all from Coolware, they're going to solve mysteries. Then they're going to discover that everything is not as it seems around the world. They're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to get to join along for the ride in the mystery van. I mean, in talking about HBO spinoff today, all the belly laughs that you used to have watching the cartoon, the only thing you're going to have now is memories, because everything else is turned to bile.
A couple things. First, I think this place has changed since the last time we were here.
Now, the good news is we finally have a name we can use in public company for Amber Heard's brown surprise she left in Johnny Depp's bed. Velma. Zoinks! How long is it going to take you to watch a 2-hour origin story about a pathetic bigot before you get annoyed?
My name is Velma Dinkley, and this is my origin story. And it starts with a murder, bitch.
For me, I was done in the first 30 seconds. You had this meandering voiceover, 2 cockroaches humping before we go into a shower scene that sexualizes underage teenage girls. It's like HBO Max put up their hands and said, hey, Netflix, we're really jealous of what you did with cuties over there. We want a little bit of that here. Reprehensible. But that's episode 1 through 8. Charles Grandy and Mindy Kaling turned everything lovable about the classic childhood cartoon into something absolutely loathsome.
Could you be a gentleman and unzip me?
Oh, say no more. I do this for my mom all the time now that she's perimenopausal and constantly bloats.
But a positive note is that they proved everything we've known all along about the entertainment industry.
Fred Jones, the son of a wealthy white family, has gone missing. All local units are being diverted to the search, effective immediately.
All the racists are in Hollywood. I mean, you have Kaling coming fresh from one of her red carpet Klan rallies, transform Velma into one of the most hostile characters ever seen on TV. She hates everyone with a pulse, especially white boys. But she reserved a little special animus for her Indian heritage. Now, Mindy, if you're listening to this, take a breath, touch some grass, talk to your family, make an appointment with your therapist, or for God's sake, seek an exorcist. Audiences are tired of hate about anyone over anything, period. And if you're thinking right now that the executives over at Warner are proud as punch, puffing up their chest because you scored a hat trick of hate, think again. HBO Max's Velma is getting absolutely savaged in reviews and online. Viewers hate the new adult Scooby-Doo series. How Velma became the most hated show on TV. The backlash has not only united all of humanity, even the Prince of Darkness had a few words to say. Velma is going to hell. Well, you can't top that one. Now, as for the plot, it's straightforward and simple. You got a high school drama and a mystery that needs to be solved around a serial killer who's on a rampage, taking the brains out of hot girls' heads. That's it. That's all of it in a crux. We have to simultaneously figure out who the murderer is while we're following Velma as she continues her investigation into the disappearance of her mother 2 years ago, all while being triggered into these disturbing hallucinations. And in between all of that, we get riddled with these unfunny, self-referential meta-humor about every social justice cause under the sun, while the studio tries to imitate every cringe scene from CW's Riverdale.
I suppose There's always room for one more kitty in my litter box.
See, Fred is accused of murder. Daphne and Velma are hot for each other. And Shaggy, who's now going by his original name, Norville, he's simping for a lewd loudmouth in a turtleneck with thick glasses anytime he's not making videos as a social media food influencer.
So today on Norville Snacks, our world tour continues east as we say ni hao to Beijing-style shrimp chefs.
Norville!
See, all of this is served up. This pointless underage nudity with grotesque violence and something that's just gross. You got pointless plots which are spinning like a top going into nowhere. A Scooby-Doo spin-off series made by people who hate everything about Scooby-Doo, including you. So let's see exactly how the woke plantation destroyed and perverted all our favorite characters.
Oh God, he looks like Hitler! And not just because we compare everyone to Hitler these days.
Come on.
So you're going to start with Fred. The goody two-shoes Fred, you're going to say goodbye to him, Fred. He's gone and been replaced with Fred Not Fred, a sexist racist who's also a blue-blooded himbo with a small wang whose only crime is being white. And then we jump over to Daphne, race swap Daphne, who's now Asian. She's been reborn as a plastic, sexually aggressive mean girl who sells drugs on the side. The queen of the soapbox who simultaneously throws out these punchlines like she's hitting you across the head. And did I forget? They also made Daphne gay. She joins her two adoptive moms who are also cops, plus Velma, who's gay. And then we got Shaggy Not Shaggy, the incel known as Norva, who's now a black beta male bobblehead who's got a crush on Velma.
Great. Now even just being myself won't work. Rom-coms can kiss my ass.
Now let's set the record straight and take a stand for Scooby-Doo. Daphne was never a mean girl. Fred, he was never insecure, nor was he a bully. And Shaggy, he wouldn't care if you were to call him a beta male. He was a fun, lovable character who was a stoner and had a good time with Scooby. And Scooby existed. The entire mystery game, the very core of their relationship was the bond that they shared with each other as family. HBO's Velma is just pure trash.
So we have one day to unlearn a lifetime of internalized misogyny.
I'm getting waxed at 4.
Then we have until 4.
So what do I have to say about Velma? It's simply Mindy Kaling. These are her self-inserts inside a psychotic fan fiction series. You're talking about a shallow, vile, unlikable, middle-aged brat who's selfish and self-absorbed, who has a crush on herself and every white man she sees. I mean, at some point, I think she's going to hump a polar bear just because it's white.
These Hollywood phonies don't know anything about acting. I think little Leo should stick with it. He's a special boy, and I think he might...
I'm happy Mindy Kaling's style of writing brown girls that hate themselves wasn't around when I was younger, and only became a thing when I was at the age where I loved my heritage and skin color. I can't imagine being young and already self-conscious and then seeing that portrayal. That was amazing what Sai said there in her tweet. But what actually stunned me even more is that the studio and Kaling were thinking that they were doing something stunning and brave. Something stunning and brave would actually be subverting our expectations by making something that's true to the source material, unlike what studios do today. You know, Amazon wasn't faithful to Tolkien. Disney wasn't faithful to Willow. You had Disney, again, wasn't faithful to Hulk. But these people think that we should throw them a parade because they make declarations in the newspaper about rainbow festivals and characters.
Her self-discovery is a really big part of this series. We don't want to ignore it. It's what's interesting to people. She's an icon for young gay women.
It's 2023, you idiots. You're a little bit late to the party. This isn't the 1980s. Charles Grant and Mindy Kaling there didn't show that they were doing anything to support anyone that everybody else doesn't support. What they're proving is that their complete incompetence and lack of preparation for the show. They don't actually know some of the simple Scooby-Doo lore in the franchise. Velma came out last year in the straight-to-streaming animated film Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo. Again, absolutely lazy. But what's completely pathetic is the studio spent nearly 2 years ripping off a series that they're already rushing through their nostalgia bait assembly line. Clone High reboot will hit HBO Max next year.
Hey, let's all go swimming in my pool. And by pool, I mean bathtub. And by swimming, I mean sex.
Talk about lazy. They superimpose MTV's Clone High, made 21 years ago, onto the Mystery Gang and then spliced it together with all the spite in Santa Inc.
Oh, I'm so happy for Timmy, the totally uninteresting white male choice that will do nothing for this company.
But before they were done getting in touch with their inner selves in all 546 genders, they fused Mindy's temper tantrum along with her favorite feminist comedians like Lily Singh.
Wait, hold up, $10? What you talking about? It's $10.55. A lady's free before 11, bruh. Yeah, we have vaginas, bruh. That's right. And boobs.
So you're talking about nearly 24 months of pitching, funding, getting casting directors, storyboarding, character design, animation, sound effects, all to forge a giant middle finger to the fans simply because they were bored antisocial bipeds who knew absolutely nothing and had no experience in the world and hated life and everyone in it.
See, now if this was a show, it'd be super hot if you two kissed.
So when we get right down to it, Velma as a show is nothing more than a tie-dyed jockstrap on a Victoria's Secret model jumping out of a birthday cake that's falling apart. But I'm not talking about the angels that we remember from years ago. I'm talking about the Victoria's Secret models from 2022. The 400-pound dudes who are pushing the Tinseltown message while flexing their man boobs. You want to clear your palate? Well, I'm working on a review for something that's dominating television that something hasn't done in the last few years. It's Tulsa King, and it's going to be out really soon. If you want to be notified when it's going to hit, all you got to do is push the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave your thoughts and questions in the comments down below. And remember, we never bow down, we never bend the knee. Always forward.